Nobody cares about you. At first, those words might sting. They might make you feel like the world is cold, like life is unfair, and like you are alone. But before you let them break you, before you allow them to drag you into despair, I want you to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing this as a curse, recognize it as the greatest gift you could ever receive. Because the moment you realize that nobody truly cares about you, at least not in the way you might wish they did, you become free. You are no longer bound by the need for approval, no longer waiting for validation, and no longer holding yourself back in the hope that someone will come along and make things easier for you. This is the moment you take full control of your life. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is staying up at night worrying about your success. Nobody is losing sleep over your dreams, your goals, or your struggles. People may say they care, they may offer words of encouragement, and some might even extend a helping hand, but at the end of the day, their primary focus is themselves. And that is not a bad thing. It is simply the reality of human nature. Once you accept this truth, you will stop waiting for someone else to push you forward and start moving on your own. Think about the times you sat around, waiting for someone to notice your hard work, waiting for someone to recognize your potential, waiting for someone to open a door for you. Think about the frustration, the disappointment, the anger that built up inside you when no one did. Why? Because deep down, you wanted someone to care enough to make things easier for you. But they won't. They are too busy fighting their own battles, chasing their own dreams, and dealing with their own struggles. If you keep waiting, you will wait forever. Now, you have two choices. You can sit in self-pity, telling yourself that life is unfair, that nobody cares, that the world is cruel and unkind. You can use it as an excuse to stay where you are, to do nothing, to remain in the shadows. Or, you can use it as fuel. You can stand up, face the truth, and decide that since nobody is going to do it for you, you will do it for yourself. Since nobody is going to hand you success, you will take it with your own two hands. Since nobody is going to push you, you will push yourself harder than you ever thought possible. This is where true power is born. This is where champions are made. Not in comfort, not in ease, not in the warmth of someone else's encouragement, but in the fire of self-reliance. The greatest people in history, the ones who changed the world, the ones who built legacies, the ones who rose from nothing to greatness, all had one thing in common: they stopped expecting anyone to care. They realized that their success was their responsibility and theirs alone. And they acted accordingly. Look around. How many people do you see wasting their potential because they are waiting for permission? How many people do you see drowning in mediocrity because they are afraid to take action without approval? How many people do you see blaming the world, blaming society, blaming their circumstances instead of taking control? Do not be one of them. Do not be the person who looks back in 10 years and regrets every moment they spent hoping someone else would do the work for them. Nobody cares about you, but that should excite you. It should ignite a fire inside you. Because it means you don't have to live your life for anyone else. It means you don't have to conform, don't have to seek validation, don't have to depend on external approval. You can be whoever you want to be, do whatever you want to do, and build whatever life you want to build. The only thing standing in your way is you. Success is lonely. The path to greatness is brutal. There will be times when you feel exhausted, times when you feel like quitting, times when you question whether any of this is worth it. And in those moments, you will want someone to tell you that they believe in you, that they see your effort, that they are proud of you. But more often than not, you will hear nothing. The world will be silent. And that is when you must dig deep and remind yourself why you started. People will only care once you have succeeded. Once you have proven yourself. Once you have built something worth noticing. Once you have made an impact. That is when the same people who ignored you will suddenly pay attention. That is when they will claim they always believed in you. When they will want to be associated with your success. But before that happens, you must walk the path alone. You must be willing to struggle in silence, to work without recognition, to fight without applause. Think of the legends, the icons, the self-made success stories. Do you think they had an army of people cheering for them in the beginning? Do you think they had an endless supply of encouragement and support? No, they were doubted, they were ignored, they were ridiculed. But they kept going. They didn't stop because nobody cared. They didn't quit because nobody believed in them. They kept moving forward, fueled by their own vision, their own determination, their own unshakable belief in themselves. That is what you must do. You must become your own biggest supporter. You must be the one who wakes up every day and pushes forward, no matter who is watching. You must develop a mindset so strong, so unbreakable, that even in the face of indifference, even when nobody acknowledges your efforts, you keep going. Because you are not doing this for them. You are doing this for you. The moment you accept that nobody cares about you in the way you want them to, you unlock a new level of freedom. You stop seeking validation. You stop being paralyzed by fear of judgment. You stop waiting for permission. And that is when you truly start living. That is when you take risks, when you put yourself out there, when you chase your dreams without hesitation. Because the only person who truly has to believe in you is you. And here's the best part. When you stop expecting people to care, when you stop looking for external motivation, when you stop depending on others to lift you up, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of person who doesn't need applause, who doesn't need encouragement, who doesn't need a cheering crowd. You become someone who thrives in silence, someone who grinds in the dark, someone who succeeds because they refuse to accept anything less. So the next time you feel discouraged because nobody is paying attention, the next time you feel frustrated because nobody is supporting you, remind yourself that this is a gift. It means you are free to do whatever it takes without anyone else's expectations holding you back. It means you are responsible for your own destiny. And that is the most powerful position you can be in. Nobody cares about you, and that is exactly why you have to care about yourself more than anyone else ever could. That is exactly why you have to fight for your own success, build your own future, and create your own legacy. Because in the end, when you have achieved everything you set out to achieve, when you have proven yourself to the world, that is when they will care. That is when they will notice. But by then, you won't need them to. Because you will have already won.